Hello and welcome back to Nothing But Net, brought to you by Always Balling for the player within. I'm Mike Miller, and we are, of course, one step away from the NBA Finals. We're in the midst of the conference finals, and we're going to go straight to the West, where we have the best two regular season teams head to head, the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets. Both games so far have been in parts close, but both have resulted in double-digit victories. Game one was stolen by the Warriors, wrestling back home court despite the fact the Rockets put up the best regular season record this year. 119, 106, 13-point victory. A lot of talk about isolation ball. James Harden going off for 41 points. Chris Paul adding 20 odd, but then not a lot of other Rockets players getting involved. The Warriors, KD had 37, yeah. And again, this looked like an ISO team. Didn't remind me of the Warriors as we've come to know them. I kind of felt like despite losing, Houston got away with one here because they should have been blown out by about 50. Game two, complete change of attitude from the Rockets. Much more aggressive, pushing the pace, pushing the tempo, moving the ball. There was a play in the second quarter where they must have moved the ball, they must have passed it around maybe 8 times before it ended up with an Eric Gordon 3, and several times they just pulled the defense left and right before getting the shot they wanted. KD went for 38 for the Warriors, but it felt like this was almost the same as what Houston did in game one. A lot of it went through KD, but no one else really turned up. Steph got 16, Clay got 8, every other Warrior got less than that. And that's not good. You need to, ISO gets you so far, but you need to get everyone else involved. And I'm sure the Warriors staff are aware of this. I have under no qualms that these guys know what they're doing. Conversely, if you looked at the Rockets, Harden had 27. Eric Gordon had 27. PJ Tucker had 22 and played absolutely brilliantly, spending a lot of time guarding Kevin Durant. Trevor Ariza finally broke out of his shell as well. He had 19 points, and then Chris Paul added another 16. It was a much more wider, point spread, much more impressive as a playoff team, in my opinion. It's going to be interesting to see what Game 3 brings, because in my mind, Capella is still the best guy to be guarding KD, but the Rockets were better when Capella sat and Gordon came in along with the other starting unit of Paul, Ariza, Tucker and Harden. So it'll be interesting to see how they mix that up, because if we look at this Warriors, if that five are defending the Hampton five, the Iguodala, Green, Curry, KD and Clay quintet, good word, does it really matter that KD goes off? Because the rest of these guys are struggling at the minute. And one guy, we saw it in game one for Houston, we saw it in game two for Golden State. One guy is not going to win you the game. They can only take you so far. You need the rest of the team to get involved, and then that one guy to carry you over the line. Personally, I think they stick with a small lineup. It worked for them really well. I don't care that KD got 38 points because everyone else was shut down. And in my mind, that's all you need to do. I still have the Warriors coming out of this though, because they're just too good. I think the Oracle is just going to be so loud. The atmosphere. This is where we're really going to see home court advantage take effect. I love the intensity we've seen so far, especially to start the games. We had the very early Draymond Green technical foul within 67 seconds of the first quarter of the first game. We saw a lot of hustle and just physical play, shoves, pushes in game two. What the Warriors can't do, though, is fall into the trap of chasing the game. They were down, I want to say about 17 points in the first half. Towards the end of the first half, they started gunning threes. Now, the Warriors are a team that can do this and pull it back, but it wasn't working, and it didn't work in the second half. Down to 12, and then suddenly just exploded right back up to 22 points by the end of it. They can't chase the game with threes. Not all the time. Not when Draymond Green and Iguodala are on the court, because those guys are the weak links in terms of their ability to shoot the ball. Obviously, they bring other aspects to the game, but I just felt that then, the fact they were chasing the game caused them to be frustrated. There were several missed assignments on defence late in the third quarter and into the fourth. It just felt like they were shook almost. But I'm not worried. Absolutely not worried, because they did exactly what they needed to do. They took one game on the opponent's floor. That's what they need to do out of the first two games. Now they go home, they defend, they have the Oracle behind them. They have two games at home. First one is on Sunday night, so that's at 8 p.m. East Coast time and 1 a.m. if you're over here in good old England. Then they have game 4 at home, game 5 back in Houston, and game 6, where I think it's all going to come to an end, back on their own floor in Oracle. We'll see if I'm right. I'll catch you next week. We'll talk more hoops. See you later.